Saira was born in a small, sunlit house surrounded by sprawling mango orchards, where the air always carried the scent of ripe fruit and freshly tilled soil. Her childhood was a tapestry of simple joys and profound lessons. She remembered waking to the sound of birds singing outside her window, her mother humming a soft lullaby as she prepared breakfast. Her father's laughter often echoed through the halls, a sound so warm it seemed to wrap around her like a blanket. She learned early that love was in the quiet gestures, in the hands that worked tirelessly and the eyes that watched over her with unwavering care. Each day, she absorbed the rhythm of her family's life, the patience of her mother waking before dawn to ensure the household ran smoothly, the determination of her father working long hours so that no need went unmet, and the subtle ways in which both of them taught her resilience, empathy, and humility. These lessons shaped the woman she was destined to become. Even as a young girl, she carried a spark of curiosity, a yearning for life beyond the orchard, a hunger to see the world in all its complexity. She scribbled little stories in her notebooks, imagining journeys to distant lands, and she would often lie on the grass at dusk, watching the clouds drift past, wondering what life held for her beyond the familiar comfort of her home. When the day came for Saira to leave her childhood home and join her husband's household, the weight of her upbringing settled on her shoulders like a silent cloak. At 22, she carefully packed her belongings, folding each piece of clothing with meticulous attention, every shirt and scarf carrying a memory of laughter, of lessons, of love. Her parents' eyes lingered on her longer than usual, the unspoken words of pride, worry, and love passing between them in glances and half-smiles. The train ride to the new city was a blur of motion and emotion, each mile stretched between her and her childhood home like a bridge she was reluctant to cross. Through the glass, she watched the orchards, the familiar streets, the home that had nurtured her, gradually fade into the distance. The ache in her heart was a physical weight, pressing against her chest with every passing kilometer, a reminder that she was stepping into a life of responsibility, of sacrifice, and of challenges she had yet to imagine. Her new apartment was sleek and modern, a stark contrast to the warmth of her childhood home. The city hummed with energy, neon lights flickering through the windows, and the distant honking of cars created a rhythm that was foreign to her. Her husband, Armin, greeted her politely, but his warmth was measured, careful, and Saira felt the subtle pang of loneliness in the midst of the bustle. Every corner of the apartment seemed to echo with the emptiness left by her family's absence. She moved slowly, arranging furniture, unpacking boxes, and trying to make the place feel like home, though her heart clung to the memories of her parents, their voices, and the orchard where she had once felt the world's safety and beauty. The first weeks were a test of patience and adaptability. Saira learned the routines of her new life painstakingly, cooking meals that disappeared before she tasted them, folding laundry with care, organizing her husband's work materials, and trying to anticipate his needs. At night, when the apartment grew quiet, she would sit by the window, gazing at the city lights below, letting memories of home wash over her. The letters she wrote to her parents were filled with gratitude, longing, and quiet confessions of her fear that she might never be enough in this new life. She wondered if her sacrifices mattered, if her love and devotion were visible, if anyone truly saw the countless small acts of care she performed daily. But still, she persisted. For Saira, love was not about recognition, it was about presence, about steadfastness, about the courage to endure silently, faithfully, and without complaint. Days became weeks, and weeks became months. Saira's life was a delicate choreography of silent labor and internal reflection. She rose early to prepare breakfast, ensuring that her husband started his day with nourishment and comfort. She navigated the rhythms of a busy city, the noises, the unfamiliar smells, the clatter of daily life, all while maintaining a calm, composed demeanor that belied the storm of emotions within. When her husband worked late, she would sit alone, writing in her journal, reliving memories of her family, whispering prayers for their well-being, and sometimes allowing herself a single, quiet tear. She discovered that strength often resided in stillness, in the endurance of unseen struggles, in the maintenance of hope despite isolation. Each meal prepared, each note left, each silent effort was a testament to her patience, resilience, and unwavering commitment to the family she was now a part of. One rainy afternoon, Saira received a phone call that shattered her fragile equilibrium. Her father was gravely ill. The words hit her like a thunderclap, and the apartment seemed suddenly too small, too silent, too confining. She packed a small bag, tears streaming freely down her face, and booked the earliest possible flight home. Each passing landscape, each blurred city, reminded her of her childhood, of her father's laughter, of the orchard, and of the jasmine-scented evenings she had cherished. On the journey, she whispered apologies to the wind, to the memories, to her father for the miles that had separated them, for the silent sacrifices she had made without his knowledge, and for the love she had carried quietly in her heart all these years. Arriving at her parents' home, she found her father weak but smiling, his eyes reflecting both pain and pride. She held his hand in hers, whispering words of love that had been stored in her heart for decades. The hospital room, sterile and quiet, felt like a foreign world compared to the warmth of her memories, yet she faced it with courage and grace. She attended to her father, navigating the medical procedures, the worried relatives, and the unspoken grief that hung heavy in the air. She wept silently at night, alone in the hospital corridor, letting the accumulated weight of years of patience, longing, and sacrifice flow out of her in quiet sobs. Upon returning to her apartment after her father's passing, the ache of loss was unbearable. Yet for the first time, her husband noticed. Armin approached her one evening, sitting quietly beside her, offering a gentle hand and a whisper of acknowledgement. "It's not just what you do," he said softly, "it's how much you give. I see it now." That simple recognition, years in the making, unlocked a flood of emotion that Saira had contained for so long. She leaned into him, allowing herself to be held, her strength finally seen and valued. In the days that followed, Saira often found herself on the balcony at sunset, gazing at the horizon, reflecting on the journey that had brought her here. She realized that true strength was not always loud or celebrated, it was quiet, steadfast, and patient. It resided in the small, unnoticed choices, in the endurance of hardships, and in the love that persists even without applause. Her life had been shaped by countless sacrifices, moments of solitude, and silent resilience. She had faced separation, grief, and loneliness, yet emerged with a heart full of compassion and an unshakable spirit. Her story became a testament to the silent courage of women, to the enduring power of love and loyalty, and to the profound impact of patience and resilience in shaping lives. Saira stood tall, not for the world to admire, but for herself, honoring the journey, the sacrifices, and the unwavering strength that defined her. In her quiet moments, she smiled, not for recognition, but because she had learned the value of steadfastness, the beauty of sacrifice, and the enduring light of love carried silently within the heart. She understood that life's true victories are often invisible, residing in the courage to continue, the grace to endure, and the wisdom to embrace both joy and sorrow with equal dignity. Through every trial, every tear, and every silent act of devotion, Saira's spirit had been forged into a beacon of resilience, illuminating not just her own life, but the lives of those around her, teaching that the power of love and sacrifice, when sustained with patience and faith, is boundless and eternal.